Lucky 7 for Kids presents Story of Rod Smith and the Lucky 7 campaign. How a professional athlete helps military children and their families get through hard times. Military families all have one common denominator: sacrifice. This is especially evident in how the youngest members take on extra responsibilities to keep the family going while facing the challenges of not having mom or dad at their side. The sacrifice becomes even greater for children of wounded troops and those who pay the ultimate price in the line of duty. Not only does the devastating loss alter the home environment, the absence of a parental figure inhibits a child's development and education. Lucky 7 for Kids reduces Veterans Administration massive claims backlog. Lucky 7 for Kids has assisted more than 3,500 military children and families throughout the country with life enrichment, life needs, sports, and education programs, and a Dream Chaser program for fallen soldiers' families, thereby fulfilling immediate needs as the Veteran Administration navigates a massive backlog of claims. The organization was started in 2008 by co-founder Rod Smith. Smith is a wealth advisor who focuses on charitable giving strategies. His true passion, however, extends beyond financial figures. Smith is quoted as saying, "My life has been profoundly influenced by others who had a giving heart and believed in me when I was younger. I understand the importance of mentoring children and providing encouragement and direction." Chance meeting of Rod Smith and SSG Patrick Shannon led to great support for military families. Following an outstanding college football career at the University of Nebraska and 2 years in the NFL in the 1980s, Smith gained exposure to the nonprofit world operating football camps for at-risk kids. Fast forward 26 years, 130 youth camps and 140,000 kids served. Smith shifted his charitable focus to military families after meeting Staff Sergeant Patrick Shannon in 2007 while he was consulting for another military charity out of San Diego. A Purple Heart and a Bronze Star recipient, SSG Shannon was dealing with his 7th surgery. With his wife in Indiana taking care of their 4 children, he needed some emergency support until he could get back to work. Fortunately, the charity Smith was consulting for filled the gap in expenses until he recovered. Smith realized a similar charity was needed nationally that focused on military children and families of the fallen, wounded, and deployed for all branches of the armed services. Smith is quoted as saying, "When parents return from deployment, they aren't always the same. Major injuries such as the loss of a limb, traumatic brain injury, or post-traumatic stress disorder are life-altering, and children often have a hard time understanding the reason for a significant change in the appearance, personality, or behavior." Rod say, "We help them deal with the challenges, and there is nothing more important than being there for a military family that lost a loved one to the war." Lucky 7 for Kids realize the smallest things make the biggest difference for struggling children. Nisa Stransbarger of Gilbert turned to Lucky 7 for Kids after losing her husband in 2009. Her 7-year-old son struggled to cope with the reality. Stransbarger said, "Any event that has been thrown has helped my son be more open about our situation and to feel he has a big support group." She went on to say, "We have met many other families and made some new friends. It warms my heart that people like Rodney are out there wanting to make a difference. They know that nothing will replace what we have lost, but their kindness has made my son and I smile a little more." Lucky 7 for Kids also provided Stransbarger with funding to visit the Arlington National Cemetery on Father's Day. She said, "I will be ever so grateful for what they did for us that day." And she said, "That trip had helped my son open up a lot. It had been the first time he really had ever broke down completely. I don't really know how I could ever thank them enough for giving us that opportunity." You are listening to a Lucky 7 for Kids production. Be a hero today and make a difference in the lives of military children of the fallen, wounded, and deployed. Donate $7 today at lucky7forkids.org/donate now.